All right, guys, so we're officially in the review portion of the video. If you guys have not seen the full playthrough, the link to that is in the description below. And the link to the Kickstarter for this game is also in the description below. But if you're just joining us, what are you even looking at? What are we even looking at? All right, what are you even going to look at if you click the link? And I'm going to show you right now. So this, guys, is Kazuni. Now, if you're just joining us for the first time, this isn't going to make sense to you, okay? But I will explain it briefly, okay? So basically what you're doing, Kazuni, you're trying to be the first one to get to 25 points. And we don't know who got there, okay? Because we have reset the board.
You're gonna have to watch the playthrough.
You're going to have to watch the playthrough, guys. So what we're trying to do here is be the first one to deliver 25 crates to the city of Kazun. Okay, guys, how are we going to do that? We're going to make supply chains. Okay, now don't let that word fool you guys. Okay, supply chains can be fun, and this game has proven it. Okay, so basically what you're doing is you're starting on this area of the map, and what's cool about it is if you play parallel to each other, it's going to be a more individual game. Yes, you're going to be doing your own thing. Kind of, it's a race, but it's a less aggressive race. Now we played adjacent, so we could have the maximum player interaction for 2 people. And I will say that it definitely happened. So we'll get more into that in a second, guys. But anyway, you're building these supply chains, and you have 3 different types of tiles you can choose, or that you can discover, which are going to be these truck tiles, these railway tiles, and these ocean tiles, which are going to allow you to build different types of vehicles on those. Okay, so. And you always have a max of 2 that you can build on any tile. Now you're going to be able to, with those vehicles, you're going to be able to transport crates through a supply line to the city of Kazun. Now you have factories that you can build on the board as well, and these are going to produce the crates that you use to ship. The trick here is that each turn you can only move up to the capacity of your vehicles, okay? So this one, I could only move 2. Even if I had 6 here, I could only move 2 with these trucks. So everything begins to bottleneck if you only have trucks. So you might have to, if you discover bad tiles, just go... They're not bad tiles, they just kind of bottleneck it a little bit. So you might have to just go around the board, or you have the option just to sit there and just slowly build up your shipping supply. Mm-hmm. So that is the essence of the game right there. And let's get into a little bit of what we thought about it. Now, first of all, guys, once again, thank you to the designer. Man, golly. Guys, this is a prototype, okay? So this is a prototype, and I will say that the components feel good. They feel great, especially for a prototype. And everything looks great, so I don't even know why it's not finalized, to be honest. It looks great. So thank you to the designers, Andy Literal and Rob St. Louis, for sending us a copy, unpaid, just to have fun. To provide an honest review. Okay, so let's provide that honest review. Do you want to start? Because I feel like I just take the words out of your mouth sometimes because I say so much. Okay, so we'll start with things that we enjoyed about this game. So for me, I really enjoyed the discovery. I love a game. I actually wanted to design a game that's kind of similar to this, where you go around and you just discover these tiles. I couldn't figure out a good way to do it, because whenever you have a small area like this with a specific number of tiles, it's hard to make it a dynamic game just flipping over one tile. Right. You know, because in other games that do that sense of exploration, you have, maybe it'll be app driven, or maybe there's a ton of different, tons of different landscapes that just continually change the environment. But you don't need that in this game because these 3 tiles are going to do everything. They're either going to help you or hurt you. I mean, they all help you get things to different places, but if you have a great engine going, and then, like, let's say I had 2 ocean tiles. Let's say I had 2 ocean tiles right here, right? That were just incredible, carried tons of shipment, just cargo everywhere. And then this was the one I discovered, and this happened to be the truck tile. The truck is going to bottleneck it, and it's going to basically shut me down. And I really enjoyed that element of not knowing what you're going to flip, and if you do flip it, it's like you can still use it. So the question is, do you take the time to go ahead and explore the other tile while the other person's like collecting crates? You see that and you're a little bit nervous. You're like, come on, dude, what do I do here? Do I just slowly bottleneck it and just move through those trucks? Even though those boats carry a ton, I can only move little bit by little bit through those trucks. Or do I take the time to explore around it? So I love that element of surprise about this game.
So for example, that's what I was trying to do here. Mm-hmm. Like I have 2 trucks here, and I wanted to possibly move around these 2 trucks so that I could move a little. And then I drew another truck tile. So I was like, never mind. I'm just going to stick with what I know and try to go a different route. And so
exactly.
Yeah.
And the fact that you only get 2 actions per turn makes that incredibly that is a crucial flip right there. It's
absolutely.
critical to her strategy, and she flipped a bad one, and that's half a turn. One flip is half a turn, and you pay. The thing about this game is you start off. It's very hard to start off getting money at the very beginning of this game. So flipping a tile costs you one of those coins, and that's just the whole.
And you start with one.
You start with one basically. Well, each upkeep phase you get one, so it makes it very hard to. It makes that you just have to make that count, and if you draw a bad one, you're like, oh come on, man.
Yeah. Even though you only start out with one Kazuni, and it's difficult to pay for everything when your income's not very good. The opportunity cards help out a lot with that. So they give you free vehicles. He got 2 free
factories right out the gate.
That's 10.
That was 10,000
Kazunis. So that's basically 10 turns of just your upkeep phase, which is crazy. So
wild.
He started out way ahead of the game. And I got extra vehicles, and you can steal Kazunis from people, and then hurricanes, events happen where you can take other people's tiles out. So that makes the variability of the game pretty interesting as well.
Yeah, it changes the strategies a lot. And this game absolutely needed opportunity cards, because just flipping a tile and trying to create a supply chain, it's too simple. Like, because you can't, it would just be too simple. There wouldn't be enough variability to really keep a lot of games going, because it would just it'd be a lot of the same.
Right.
And the opportunity cards make everything way more variable. I mean, exponentially more variable, because it's really cool how they did it. So you can hold on to your opportunity cards. Basically, it's going to be a little bit more expensive as far as actions go if you do it in a future round, but you have these really powerful opportunity cards that are going to, again, allow you to do everything she said, but also some completely returned the crates from your scoreboard to your factories. So that was a whole turn wasted pretty much. That could be an incredibly clutch card if it was, because this game is a race. And if it was down to the last one, I could return hers. And at one point, I don't want to give any spoilers, but we did this thing where, like, I built free factories and then she actually shut my factories down, and then I rebuilt some new ones. It was crazy. So those cards are incredibly powerful, and they're not broken in any way. They're very necessary and very fun, because I every turn that I drew an opportunity card, I knew something very dynamic was going to happen for this game. And it also made the game both more strategic for myself, because I was like, I can hold on to this now, or I could just ship my cargo or my crates to the city, or I could wait till she breaks down my vehicles and then ship it. Yeah. Okay, so what do I want to do here? Do I just want to get quick cash, or do I want to wait till it's a smart thing to do? And
one thing I like about those opportunity cards is there's not like 20 or 30 different opportunity cards. So there's about 10 different
probably something
ones.
Like that.
So you're almost drawing for one that you know is coming.
Yeah, that's good.
So you're hoping that you're going to draw the one that you know is in there somewhere. Yep. And so I just kept drawing. I think I spent like 2 turns just drawing opportunity cards.
More than that.
I was looking for the free factory one or the free vehicle one, and I didn't want to waste turns and my Kazunis when I knew that I could get some things for free.
Yes.
So I really like that part about the opportunity.
It's like playing the lottery a bit.
It's not too open, but it's you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, exactly. I do. This game is a great mixture of luck and strategy. It's great. I know a lot of people don't like luck in games, but for us, I absolutely want.
I think you need it to keep it a little lighthearted.
Yeah, I think so too. But this game is about the mystery of this board right here and what you're going to flip. And I was excited every time I was flipping, because there was one point I needed this to be the tile that it was, and that was incredible when it happened. So
yes, this game was on your side.
It definitely was. So there is a lot of. Not a lot. I don't want to say 50-50, because there's a lot of strategy in this game based on the vehicles that you use and where you spend your money. Spending money is basically the key to this game. Spending it wisely and optimizing your supply chain based off that. But the luck that's in there is great. I like luck in a game because it just gives you that suspense, and I love that suspense. And again, but what's cool is you can always adapt to the luck that's in this game. You can adapt. You just have to make it. You might have to just go around a little bit more. You know what I mean? Or buy some more vehicles, and you can move these vehicles from tiles if you need to. So that's really, really cool.
And you can only get so mad at your competitor if what they're drawing is giving them all the good things instead of instead of them just being better than you at a game. So you're like, well,
that is true. That is one thing.
You played a good game, but the game actually handed it to you. So
yeah. Now we've played this game a couple times through now, and the last game was very different than this one.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the tiles we drew and how close we were to each other. The last game we had a lot of, she actually cut me off by building, let's go back, swap real quick. She actually cut me off in our last game we played by building 2 trucks here that were her color, and I could no longer go through there. I was completely cut off in my line.
Well, no.
Well,
I built
yeah, you did.
one. No, I built 2 trucks on 2 of yours. So you had 1 truck on each of them too.
I think there was one tile that you actually built 2 of your trucks just to cut me off. Yes, it was. It was disgusting. Yeah,
I didn't do that.
Okay, well, whatever. But that's an element to this game that you can do.
You can do that.
Is you can just build your vehicles and cut them off, it's a very interesting strategy. And again, this is one of those games that doesn't make you mad about being cutthroat. It's like, oh, that was a smart, like, economic decision that you needed to make for your supply chain to be the better business.
But you have to decide if you're going to be defensive or offensive, because you only get so many Kazunis each turn.
Exactly.
So if I spent my Kazunis trying to cut you off, then that means I'm cutting myself off because I'm not buying vehicles for me to get my supply to the city.
And that's another thing, is she could spend her whole turns drawing opportunity cards, and I could just be getting crates, just pumping and dumping. Through. Yeah. And that's something that's really cool too, is this suspense of, oh, I'm wasting so much time and I don't have this time to waste. But if I draw something that's powerful enough, I'm going to shut you down completely.
Exactly.
So
it's lottery.
It's really good. I love the pace of this game.
Yeah, it was very fast.
Super. The downtime is essentially non-existent, and it's just little downtime, very fast paced, and you have a lot of fun. It's very exciting while you're playing it.
Mm-hmm. This is a game that you could play a couple times through in one setting. Mm-hmm. Like, you wouldn't just play this once and then put it up. Like,
I think the 30 to 45 minutes holds true.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm. And depending on the engine that you build, you could minimize that time as well.
Right.
So it's cool. There's so many different strategies I want to explore in this game, and I'm shocked that they were able to create that much. Like, there's so much depth to this in this little board right here with just these tiles. Because at first, when I built this line right here, I was like, man, I could just sit here and just pump this through constantly. But I realized if I do that and she goes and explores, I'm going to fall behind eventually, because these trucks right here are going to bottleneck me. Mm-hmm. So I went out of my way and explored here, and it paid off immensely. So guys, again, this game, I had a great time. I seriously can't wait to see what they do with this thing. We have to do it, guys. We have to do it. Constructive criticism. I'll go first. So there were a couple things that it's not necessarily constructive criticism as much as things that I would like to see in this game. So one thing I would like to see maybe is a limit on opportunity cards, because and it didn't break the game in any way. There was really no negative impact, except that there came a time, there were different times of just inevitable endings, okay? And things were delayed because there's so many opportunity cards drawn, okay? And
I didn't even use some of my negative ones.
You really didn't.
Because if you save them, you have to use an action to use them, and then it's like, that's half my turn just to try and spoil his turn, and then it's like, I can't be productive if I'm just trying to spoil his turn. So
that's true. I don't know. I just like limits on hands of cards, so you can't just get piles of these incredible, and you can only use 2 per turn anyway. I mean, really. So I don't know. Just for me, I think a hand limit on opportunity cards might be cool. So one other thing for me, it seems like there should be a way to either block your opponent more aggressively, because in this game you can't spend too much time blocking your opponent, because you're going to take away time from you, which is precious in this game, very, very precious. So she could block me off by building her transports over here and just blocking me completely off if I hadn't already done that. But to do that requires a lot of your effort and your action. So once I get something going, what I found was, once you get something going, it's very, very hard to shut it down. Unless you're actively pursuing a way to shut that person. Like, it almost has to be like a game of chess, where when I put a piece down, you are blocking me immediately. You are blocking this, you are blocking this. And maybe that's how it's supposed to be played, where you're really trying to get into that person's area. But if that were true, then, well, yeah, I mean, if we're playing adjacent boards, you could still do that. But I think that there needs to be some kind of method of maybe blocking somebody off a little bit more, because again, once I had that engine running, it it was just
It'd be cool to do
overflow.
like a opportunity card where you would swap tiles or something.
That would
So
be
you
very
could,
interesting.
like-
Yes.
Like take it and completely.
That would be
swap
insane.
tiles somewhere.
It would be pretty. That would actually, and it could be luck of the draw. So you could be like, I'm gonna swap this one for this one, and it could be better, it could be worse.
Right.
And you get to, well, maybe you couldn't orient it the way you wanted to, because that'd be messed up if you could just reorient this and it's just completely blocked off. But it could definitely change that up. And if it's a different tile, it could discard the trains, and I'd have to put trucks on there.
Right.
That would be real. That's a really good idea. I really like that, because again, I felt like once I had something really going, and unless she is just sprinting at the same pace as me, there comes a time where somebody falls back a little bit, and once that happens, it's almost inevitable.
You can't really stop
It's
it.
almost inevitable that I'm going to eventually win. It's just like bleeding out.
Isn't that like the world?
It
though?
is. It's very
Isn't that-
accurate. It's very realistic.
Like monopolies.
But
happen, even
I don't always
though-
play games to live in the world we live in.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
But yes, so
But it's true to the theme.
it is true to the theme. So congratulations on making it super realistic. But anyway, there's really not a lot of negativity to discuss about this game. It was a fun race with very light rules and a lot of
Very
complex strategy.
straightforward.
Very straightforward.
Mhm.
Mhm. So congratulations on your design. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed
that's
this.
awesome.
I genuinely enjoyed this game, and I would sit down right now and play another round.
Yeah.
Play it several
absolutely.
times and just keep score on tallies, like on a chalkboard. You know?
Didn't he say him and his friend were just playing a game one night and they just decided to make their own game?
They just decided to
They
make their own
just
game one
decided
night. And this
day to make their own game, and this is
is
what
their
they
baby.
did. So
and a beautiful baby it is. So congratulations.
awesome,
And guys, definitely check this out. Link is in the Kickstarter, guys. Full playthrough. Link is in the description. Did I say link is in the Kickstarter?
yes.
The Kickstarter, the link for the Kickstarter, guys, is in the description. Man. And the playthrough is also in the description. Check it out, guys, if you enjoyed this. Okay. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. And we will be back very shortly once we have cooled down just a bit and taken a breather. Okay. Because I feel sweaty. Good night and God bless.